Friends, thank you so much for joining today, and I welcome you all to our beautiful session, Moms to Be. Today is our third session. In past two sessions, we have learned how to invite the divine souls to this earth and how we have to prepare emotionally to bring the divine soul in our earth and in our lives, right? And we have learned so many things about how to prepare ourselves from the time we got our periods. From that time, we have to prepare ourselves to have that healthy child, to have that divine baby. And in our journey, today we are on our third session. Today we are going to learn about how to take care of our physical body through nutritional food, my dear friends. Today we have Sita with us to give us knowledge about the nutritional food to take care of ourselves, the mom and the baby, and not just for mom and baby. We all need nutritional food to have a healthy physical body, right? Let me give a little bit introduction about my friend Sita. So Sita began her career as a pharmacist, working on the front lines of patient care and gaining deep insight into how medications are used to manage a wide range of conditions. Through that experience, she noticed an important pattern: the growing reliance on prescriptions. And it sparkled a powerful question: how can we shift our focus from treatment to prevention? Such a great thought, Sita. Even though you're in the field of giving prescriptions, you thought about how to prevent the prescription. So, that question, driven by that curiosity and passion, she pursued further training in holistic nutrition, expanding her expertise to include the role of food as a foundational tool for health and wellness. So, we all know, right, that food, what we eat, we become that. So, Sita has pursued her nutritionalist career. She did certification in nutritionalist. Today, she continued to practice as a pharmacist while also advocating for a more integrative approach, one that bridges modern medicine with nutrition and lifestyle to support long-term health and disease prevention. Uh, Warm welcome to you, Sita. The stage is
Thank
all
you,
yours.
Swayam. Thank you, Swayam. That's a beautiful introduction. Good morning, everyone. Beautiful Sunday morning here. Again, welcome, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Swayam for giving me this opportunity. and First, I would like to congratulate all the moms to be who are here. Again, like as Swayam said, I am a pharmacist by profession, but this curiosity from the childhood itself I had that there should be something better than relying on prescriptions or medicines. The modern world today focus on the treatment, but my intention always is on how we can prevent in the first place. So I always feel that prevention is better than cure. So that was my motive. That slowly I just kind of started researching, and I had that passion and curiosity that to expand my knowledge. How Swam said, how food can act as a medicine. That was my main thing, and that's how I. And again, this learning is a journey. It's never ending. Every day I learn something new. That's not enough that I know. There's again a lot to be known, and I continue to learn from my experiences, from seeing others, from like whatever I can. I know my kids keep saying that you're like an ever kid, learning something, and we all I think are like that. So again, today I think our main focus is on pregnancy and nutrition. Again, nutrition is a very vast thing, but today we'll focus a little bit more on what the pregnancy moms need, and then we can discuss like on the overall well-being for the woman, what our nutritional needs are. Again, pregnancy is not just the creation of the baby, but it's again the transformation of a woman. A lot of changes happen. Again, pregnancy is the most joyful, beautiful phase of a woman, but at the same time, it's an overwhelming, exhausting. Body has to go through a lot of changes, hormones. I think that patience all is built in within the woman, and that's why we're blessed to have this opportunity. I think woman is the only one who can create another human, which we are privileged of. Again, nutrition during this season, we're not going to count about more calories, vitamins, but nutrition on a whole, we have to look at. That includes nourishment, energy, emotional balance, again, creating nourishment and creating a foundation for both mother and the child. Again, today modern world, there's a lot of information, there's overwhelming of guidance saying what you need to eat, what not to eat, what needs to be done during pregnancy. But let's see if we can break that all and bring it into the simple terms. Like, I know the more complicated we make it, the more hard it is for us. So let's see if we can bring this nutrition in a simple terms. um, Again, like I said, holistic or whatever, the pregnancy nutrition kind of includes the emotional well-being, the quality of sleep we do, the little bit of exercise or movement we are able to, again, how we handle the stress, the fatigue which occurs during pregnancy, the relationships and the connection with the food. So with that being said, again, today woman enters pregnancy with already a lot of responsibilities. Like in olden days, I know pregnancy happened at a very young age where they didn't know much. But maybe that was a blessing. Again, it had both its pros and cons. But now, women take up pregnancy or we get pregnant with I would say like overworked, stressed, with lot of responsibilities. Um, again, we lost the connection with the cues of hunger. We just eat because we're supposed to be eating. And again, we enter this pregnancy with the overwhelming, conflicting information. As soon as somebody says pregnancy, some says like, oh, you have to start your vitamins. Again, you start your prepare your body. Somebody says this, someone says like, eat that. Somebody says eat that. So we enter the pregnancy itself like so much stressed, again, but depleted with the nutrients and all too. So let's begin ourselves asking like pregnant woman, instead of asking yourself, am I eating perfectly? We just got to think that, am I eating or am I nourishing enough to be supported, grounded, enough for the mother and the baby? Because as we provide nutrition for the baby, the mother plays an important, and we have to take care of the mother. Actually, first thing is we got to take care of the mother. So again, food during pregnancy, food as a woman itself is very important. Food for everyone is important, but it becomes more important during pregnancy because need that stabilized energy, lot of hormonal changes. So food has to support these hormones. We all have so much inflammation, and pregnancy again makes more vulnerable to inflammation. So we got to make sure that we eat that it reduces the inflammation, and at the same time, we got to provide that building blocks for baby development. So with that being said, again, most of us women, we do carry guilt around eating. On a normal basis itself, we kind of think like, oh, am I taking more calories? And we do all this restrictive obsession, or we kind of try to perfect ourselves. So let's focus more on balance, nutrition, nourishment, and consistency. So I always say information is everywhere. We can learn, we can do everything, but following it on a regular basis is the most foundation or important. So consistency is the most important thing that we need to focus on. We can achieve all this, like especially in pregnancy, by adding more color in the sense, large variety of fruits and vegetables. That's how adding more color. But again, we got to make sure we get all the minerals, all the vitamins. Hydration is important. Um, Everyday woman also hydration is so important. We forget to drink water so much that so hydration in general plays a big role in women's health and more during pregnancy. And then again, as we all know, focus more on whole foods. um, let's let's discuss a little bit about the key nutrients in pregnancy and the key issues what happened during pregnancy. And after that, we can just kind of have like an open session. We don't have to be so much formal. We can discuss. So I'll talk about more kind of four important nutrients in pregnancy. First, I'm going to start with protein. As you all know, protein is very important and most essential again during pregnancy, because it's needed for development of baby's organs properly, placenta to supply the large volume of blood supply, again with all the hormonal and maternal tissue as well. Again, protein also helps you to feel emotionally balanced, again grounded, and less exhausted. Most of all, I think we are here Indian women. We do forget this a lot, but we lack protein in our diet. I know there are some which says that protein is exaggerated, but it's real. From our childhood days or olden days, usually women eat less protein than men. Even when it comes to meat consumption or anything, our diet is in smaller proportions, and it's more filled with carbohydrates, sugars, and like that. But we never think about what the protein content I'm getting. At least maybe now modern with the social media and everywhere, I think protein awareness is here and maybe we're consuming more protein. But um, I would say I think there was a research they did, and especially Indian women, do you guys believe that more than 70 to 80% of the women don't take enough protein as we need to be taking? So that's the number one reason, because we don't eat enough protein. We don't feel full longer. As we eat the processed foods, carbohydrates, sugars, we start to feel hunger immediately. And that's how, again, we crave for food. So if you, every meal, if you kind of consider and make sure that you had enough protein in that, trust me, it keeps you full longer. You don't feel hungry immediately. So that's important. So as you usually, it's like 1 gram minimum is 1 gram of protein per 1 kilo per person. But that is again a slightly higher during pregnancy. But again, when we say pregnancy, you don't have to eat for two, which is like a myth. um, if on a normal, if you eat 1500 calories, maybe during pregnancy we might need 1800 to 2000. Basically, first trimester, in the first 3 months, not really anything much is needed. Maybe second and third trimester you might need a little bit more calories, or but overall protein from the beginning is needed. So again, I can't stress more enough than protein, and you all know the protein sources. Again, we have the vegetarian protein sources and non-veg. Again, finding non-veg protein sources is very easy, but finding vegetarian protein sources is really difficult. Difficult in the sense you have to have a lot of planning ahead, in order to get the required amount of protein. So we just have to make sure, like, in your plate when we are eating, we do have these salads, raw foods a little bit, then comes your protein. You got to make sure that you have protein, and then the rest of the stuff. After protein, the second important thing what needed during pregnancy is iron. Like again, how I said, Indian women lack in protein, we lack in iron too. Iron, never there is sufficient iron for most of the women. Like I think first initial testing when done, they'll always say that, oh, you're low in iron, start an iron supplement. It's because we never focus on iron rich foods, or we don't think that iron is needed. But iron is most needed in a woman's life, and more special during pregnancy. Again, most of the time the cues the body gives is if you're feeling dizzy, if you're exhausted, feeling more anxious. I know we all feel anxious, but if you have that anxiety more, shortness of breath, and emotionally depleted, means like you feel so emotional for little things, those are all the cues even saying that your body is low in iron. So we got to observe those cues and do supplement or do take, again, supplements is to build a gap or bridge the gap, but do include more iron rich foods in the diet. When we are taking enough iron, don't forget vitamin C is needed for absorption, because how much amount of iron we take, if there is not enough vitamin C, it is not absorbed. So always iron rich foods need to be paired with vitamin C, more like oranges, berries, citrus fruits, any of those rich in vitamin C. I think that's how unknowingly the meals are curated that way. Like when you have a meal with a lot of meat, or they usually give a lemon on the side. We think, oh, maybe that lemon is not needed, I don't eat it. But no, you have to squeeze that lemon and eat it, because that gives the vitamin C, and the iron what you're getting from that food is absorbed with the vitamin C, which comes from, again, lemon or any other citrus fruits. So, protein, iron, and then folate. As you all know, whoever is pregnant here, the first thing what the doctor says is like you take a folate supplement or folic acid. 1 milligram folic acid is needed, or is must. And again, that's more important for the neural development. So again, nervous system development, proper function of the baby, folic acid is needed. That's why even in regular, when we have some conditions like arthritis or any nerve related issues, they do say that you need to have folic acid, because that is essential for the neuron development and proper functioning, again, in a regular body, and more so in the developing placenta. So, but with the folate, the studies recently showed that choline is also another important essential nutrient. So we have to make sure that choline is also enough, especially for the during pregnancy, because I think there has been a research or study done with um, again, pregnancy studies are difficult to do on women or actual, so they do on the lab animals. But when they did when they fed one of the sample size with enough choline, and but then the other mothers deprived of choline, it did found that the IQ levels or the of the baby was more better when they had choline. So again, these days autism has been so common in kids. It may be genetical, but again, I also think that it all depends on the nutrition, and then again, there are so many other issues with it as well. But again, for your baby to be healthy born with complete brain development, smart and everything, make sure you have enough folate and choline in it. It's okay if you have to take a supplement. Again, once you search, you'll find so many resources with folate and choline in it. Eggs are the number one source of choline, but if you are vegetarian, again, you'll have to look for other sources for the choline. But again, do make sure if that's not enough, then do supplement as well to make sure that the needs are met or required. And then the other important thing I know you all know about the omega fatty acids, DHA, which is needed in pregnancy. That's again for the brain development. It support not even just the baby, it support the mother's mood, nervous system, and emotional resilience. Again, good fatty acids is one thing we lack all the time. You go for your physicals, the blood tests come in, and you have your LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, always on the high, or even if the LDL is normal, your HDL is very low all the time. Like, um, for myself, if I give myself as an example, I always never had a cholesterol issue. My LDL was always okay, but the HDL always had been low. And it's equally important to have high good cholesterol too. So if you have very low HDL, if your good cholesterol is not up to the mark, you're more prone to cardiac diseases. So it's equally important as we are trying to restrict on the fatty foods, like all the oils, deep fried, and all those cholesterol. So we try to avoid that. But at the same time, when you're avoiding, you need to make sure you have good fats in your body. Again, where are these omega fats, good fats? Again, if you're a non-veg, then salmon, but otherwise walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, so many nuts and seeds. They are abundant source of avocado. They're abundant source of good fats, and we have to make it like a ritual or mandatory to include good fats in our body. It's again good for your skin health, but at the same time, how you feel emotionally, to have that emotional balance also, we need to have those good fats. So again, that's more important during pregnancy. And as we all know, coming to the fifth choice is minerals. Minerals are needed during pregnancy, especially magnesium, calcium, zinc, and potassium. Calcium and vitamin D is a must. Make sure you're taking enough calcium rich foods. Again, calcium is absorbed with vitamin D, so we're not exposed to sun a lot. We're sitting in the AC. So we need to make sure we do vitamin D. And I don't know, at least when I speak to my friends, like out of 10 friends I speak, at least 8 of them or 9 of them says that my vitamin D is low. So we all have vitamin D deficiency. Even after knowing this much, I still, if I go and give my test, always it comes my vitamin D is low. So there's there's some which you can do with food, but for vitamin D, if needed, supplementation is not bad. Check for the good supplements. There are some reputed ones. Again, not anything supplements what we are taking. We have to be careful because there's so many supplements, different brands. Just make sure you pick the best supplement. So vitamin D and calcium is needed, and also again make sure if the mother doesn't have calcium, vitamin D, baby will do fine because baby has that tendency that it will start taking from the mother's body. But if you didn't had enough calcium and vitamin D during your pregnancy, your kid will be born or baby will be born fine and they'll do good. But the mother on the long term might have calcium depletion and they'll get into the other bone issues at a very young age. So that's why when we have to look at these macro and micronutrients in a more nutrition perspective, because the baby is gonna get some or the other way. I mean, when you're completely depleted, the baby also gets depleted, but they'll take it, they'll find it. But ultimately, again, mother well-being is important. Once everybody wonders how the baby came out, how healthy is the baby, what happened, everything is good, but what about the mother? So we need to make sure mother is important. So I know self love, that's where it comes. So when even you're giving birth to somebody, but first you need to love yourself and you need to take care of yourself. And when you're strong and you're able to, then you will be able to take care of the baby for a longer time. So that's why you have to make sure that these all nutrients are enough in your diet so that you have enough for yourself, and then you pass that on to your baby. So both we want both the mother and the baby to be well nourished, happy, and healthy. We just don't want to have one or the other. With that being said, again, muscle cramps is a big issue during pregnancy. Again, that's because of potassium, magnesium depletion. So make sure include enough potassium and magnesium. Magnesium glycinate, if you have to supplement, that's more readily absorbed. Potassium, again, eating lots of oranges, bananas, depending on what available for you. With that being a little bit talking about the nutrition during pregnancy, there are again issues which happen during pregnancy, and we got to see how we can get rid of these issues with food, because our main motto is anything issue happens, first we have to look at the food and then how we can change the food or include the food so that we treat the condition what is happening. Morning sickness is one of the biggest issue which happens during pregnancy. It's unavoidable. Again, if you're lucky enough, you'll have little morning sickness. Otherwise, it's a lot. For some people, it's only for the first trimester, but some people carry on throughout their pregnancy and have this nausea issues. But again, when I was pregnant, I didn't know that I had that nausea, and I don't know how I combated it now if I think about it. But research does show that if you have enough protein, the nausea diminishes significantly. So when you're feeling nauseated or something, take a protein snack, like few almonds or some pistachios, or like apple slices with peanut butter, something. So your body, when you have enough protein, you don't feel that much nausea. So that is one thing you can try. Again, everybody reacts different. But these are some of the ways. And as you all know, everybody says that eating small meals will help. Anything ginger teas or ginger infused drinks would is fine. Then again, instead of we need to be well hydrated too to prevent nausea. And hydration, it's kind of gets hard to drink plain water, but there are so many fruit infused waters. Just take a glass of water and drop couple orange slices in there or few strawberry slices in there, let it sit for a while and then just drink it. It tastes so much better. We in speaking in general also, we feel hungry because actually we are thirsty. We think that it is hunger. So first drink like a nice glass of water. And then again, if you don't feel like drinking the plain water, you can do this fruit infused water, whichever it is. That keeps you hydrated and it gives you such a refreshing feeling. It just gives a burst of energy immediately. So again, must we need to make sure we are hydrated. And then during pregnancy, one other issue what happens is fatigue. Fatigue is real. Again, we cannot avoid fatigue. Body is going through a lot of changes, hormonal changes. Body is coping with the new um, formation of the baby inside. So fatigue happens. But if you have enough protein, enough iron, if you are less overstimulated, again, make sure yourself you're surrounded with nice peace environment, no loud noises or music. I think that that's better. So anything what you kind of keep yourself less overstimulated also makes you feel better. Again, masters like Swayam can even tell you how we can combat with that fatigue, stress, how we can avoid that. um, and then one other issue, what happens a lot during pregnancy and more pregnant mothers complain about is constipation. That's again with the all hormonal changes happening, constipation does happen. Our iron needs also increase, and we are supplementing with iron, and that's also another reason for constipation. But when I say we need to eat enough protein, we need to make sure we have enough fiber with it. So, all you eat protein and then you're not eating enough fiber, then that leads to constipation. And then again, that's not even good for the body. So that's why the young generation, like nowadays, they do make sure they eat a lot of protein. They do protein shakes, they do protein drinks, they take all proteins because they want muscle, right? Like they all the teenage kids going to them, but at the same time they're not getting their protein in the whole food form. And when you have protein in the whole food form, then the fiber comes with it. And again, protein and fiber together helps easy digestion, and that's good. But if you don't have enough fiber, that's an issue. So anytime, that's why even my son, when he says like he's taking a protein drink, and I say like, I know you're getting enough protein, but do make sure you're getting your fiber too. So how do you get your fiber? Like eating more fruits and vegetables. That's the number one source. So, how much we stress about the importance of protein, we need to have that fiber. Otherwise, again, there's issues like constipation. Even like in teenagers, if they do lots of protein and not enough fiber, kidney issues, renal problems do arise with that. So that's why those two are important. Um, and then again, we all know what needs to be avoided, foods or things to be avoided. We know alcohol, high mercury foods, again, unpasteurized foods we're not going to do. So that's why no sushi and not uncooked foods like those. Again, we do avoid, try to avoid processed foods. And again, check for your supplements for their grade and quality because we don't want unsafe supplements. Again, during pregnancy, if possible, kind of stay away from perfumes, detergents, a lot of makeup products or anything which is like, I know it's not good at any time on our skin because our skin is our second mouth, and whatever we put on the skin gets absorbed too. So that's why we have to be careful with what we use. Try to see if you can avoid harsh chemicals, detergents, floor cleaners, anything which is not needed. Or someday we all have to move out of those, and everybody is becoming conscious about it, making the right choices. And some or the other day, we don't want chemicals in our life. Again, that's one thing. For pregnant women, I also think like maybe make a small checklist, like at the end of the day when you're sleeping, like how our masters say that you need to meditate and you gotta count your blessings like that. Just make a small thing. And did I get my enough protein? Did I take my iron? Did I drink enough water? Was I able to rest? And again, little physical movement is always needed, like pregnancy and movement, small little exercise, at least small walks, 10-minute walks. If you have time and able to, prenatal yoga, any of those is more good. But just basic walking movement. If you're working in front of a computer, getting up every 30 minutes, 1 hour, just take a break, 5 minute break, go around. We do forget because again, women today, most of them are working, and we forget that when you are sitting for longer times, you are straining the body and you're putting it in one position. So we have to take a break. We have to keep a reminder. Initially, we do forget, so we have to keep a reminder to even get up, walk for 5 minutes, and even drink water. We have to put a reminder even to drink water because that's how much we forget that we need water and we don't drink enough water. So again, with that all being said, again, healthy pregnancy nutrition is not just about growing a healthy baby, but also again, protecting and replenishing the mother. So we want healthy mothers. Healthy mothers only build healthy families. So again, make these small choices. We have, like I said, this is an era where we have abundant information, but the only thing is we have to reiterate that every day. We have to keep reminding ourselves that this needs to be done. Inconsistent. We have to do it, like maybe we will do one day and the next day we'll forget. So instead of taking a bigger step, maybe see if we can take small steps, but do it consistent. Like I said, you don't have to walk for 5 miles a single day. Even it's okay if you walk 1 mile, but make sure you walk that every single day. So with that small habits, one change at a time, we can have a healthy pregnancy. Um, I think maybe that's what I wanted to say a little bit about nutrition pregnancy. But I know we have like so many questions, doubts, or we can go in specific on one topic based on what you want to know more about any of them.
Thank you so much, Sita, for a wonderful session about nutrition and how to take care of mom and baby through food. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your knowledge and wisdom. Um, when I was pregnant, I always used to listen from my mom a lot that you're carrying a baby. Now you have to eat for two. You have to eat for two. Now
Mm,
today you said that that is a myth. Like we don't have to eat so much. And again, later we have to worry about reducing the weight. And skin is our second mouth. I
mm,
heard it for the first time today.
mm.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the information about how important it is to you know, take care of the protein and at the same time fiber and all the nutritions. So we all know we have to take care of our health through food. We have to eat nutritional food, but still we are not able to do it. Maybe because of busy work schedules or because of the stress, we again go and grab that junk food and we satisfy ourselves. So how to plan it to take care to give everybody nutritional food to stop those cravings.
Right. Yeah, I know. Again, food is emotional. We all have cravings, and even in pregnancy, we have cravings every time we have cravings. But so we need to understand that we get these cravings only because our body is not nourished enough. So in your meal, if you have everything what you needed, you will feel full, and you'll not have that craving. So in again, I've been doing this for like, I know I started this journey for like almost close to 7, 8 years. There are at times still I don't have enough time, or we lead such a busy life, or mom is the one who take cares the last one, right? So we'll have to make sure we make what the kids like, what the husband like, everyone, and then when it comes to us, we don't have enough time. So slowly we'll have to introduce that to the whole family, but planning is definitely important. So we'll have to plan our meals ahead, at least a little bit, or we need to have those ingredients what we can quickly make. So like for example, if you're a vegetarian, like I said, vegetarian is more hard to get a balanced meal. If you eat non-veg, you just crack two eggs, make an omelette, add some veggies in it. It's done. It's more easy. So, but even in that, we instead of doing that, we just go grab like something which readily available, like chips or whatever. But if you're like non-veg, then you can make something like this. But if you're vegetarian, you can always have your nuts. But again, soaking nuts and eating is important. When I say nuts and seeds, um, never or don't try to eat them raw because they're very hard to digest. And I know I have so many of my friends who, because nuts are good, and if you eat them raw, they're very hard to digest. They stay in the body for a long time. And again, it leads to constipation and other issues, bloating and all. So definitely soak nuts. And that's why if you have to do this, you'll have to soak them ahead and have them ready. So that little prep is needed again. But like for example, I know everyone talks about breakfast now, chia pudding. You can soak your chia seeds ahead. You don't know how many times I forget to soak chia seeds. I know that I have to have for my breakfast, but again we forget because I think that's all because we as a woman give prioritize ourselves the last. But we have to understand that we need to prioritize us first, and then we will be able to take care of everyone. So that's why that little bit of meal prep or planning is needed. It's okay if you have that craving, you indulge, you eat something, that's totally fine. But see if you can combine that with something. Like you have samosas in front of you and there is just the plain chat in front of you. We eat two samosas. Instead of it, how about you just eat one samosa and then take that chat with a lot of chickpeas and everything in it. So you make sure you're getting that protein from here and then eat only one samosa or maybe half of it. So that way, every time, like it becomes an instant habit. Once you get into the habit of you're seeing the food, you're looking at the plate, and you're making sure that there are no empty calories. So anything what you're eating, if you kind of think like it's empty calorie, it's not doing good anything to you, it's not nourishing, you're not getting enough protein from that, see if you can avoid that and replace it with whatever available but the best choice. Then that way it will come, you'll learn that habit, you'll master it, and you'll know like how you have to adjust your meals around, and how you can prepare with that.
Yeah. Thank you, Sita. It is just like in meditation, we say that whenever a negative thought comes, replace it with a positive thought. Even when we're eating the food, just take a
Yeah,
pause and replace it with healthy food. We have to remind that. Yeah,
exactly.
planning.
That's
Yes.
it.
And
Yeah.
planning is one more thing. Thank you, Sita, for reminding all those and giving
Yeah,
all those
like
tips.
I know if your body
Yes.
is okay to take sprouted foods, or like have some of them, because once you sprout them and have them in your fridge, they're good for like 5 days, 4 days, up to 1 week. So whenever you have time, have them. And again, when we say sprouted foods, for some it's okay, but for some it becomes gassy. If that is the case, then you may have to boil them a little bit. But having those, or your boiled chickpeas, having boiled them and have ready, always having your nuts, your healthy crackers. So again, even crackers, thankfully today we're having so many healthy crackers options too. So crackers with hummus, avocado dip. Yeah, it's something like
Yeah.
those small changes when you kind of
Yes.
prep and plan ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weekend planning really works because when we come back from work, we'll be exhausted and we get hungry and we just grab food. Whatever is available, we just eat. So I always used
Yes.
to think we have to eat fresh food, but pre-planning is better than grabbing the all kind of junk. My daughter always used to say, like, cut the vegetables and put it in the water and put it in the fridge. So whenever you're hungry, you can just grab the celery and carrots and eat. But I'm like, when I'm hungry, then I can feel fresh and eat. But it doesn't happen. You just go and
No.
grab the junk food. Yeah. So pre-planning is the best way
And make
to
it tasty
control.
too, because most of the diets, what they say is like they'll ask you to eat raw, fresh, and all. But again, we have to satisfy our taste buds too. We need
Yes.
to have that dopamine too, because if we just eat bland, and that's why people say like, oh, if you just eat it, how you get satisfied? It's so bland. So see how you can make it tasty as well. Maybe on your veggies, I don't know if you want to sprinkle a little bit of salt, a little bit of spices, anything, and then squeeze of lemon. Or there are so many nice dips like these days available with cashews, with roasted bell peppers. If you have those dips ready, also you can dip your crackers, or you can dip your vegetables in that. That way, you'll have to satisfy your brain too. I mean, I tried doing that. I know I used to see some videos where they say like, okay, you have to eat all your fresh vegetables, all this, and then you try to eat the most cleanest and healthy way. Then you don't have that satisfaction. So, like again, in 2 days, you kind of feel that, oh, I can't do this because this is such a bland food. There's no taste in it. There's no life in it. There's no joy in it. And then you kind of start thinking
Yes.
like, it's okay, even if I live a little lesser, that's fine. But I want this. So that's how we go. So yeah, when you're trying to eat healthy, you'll have to make sure that you're satisfied with it too.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Especially we are used to pickles. We are used to that spicy food and with a lot of flavors in our food, and going back to this bland food after 2 days, we get the motivation, but after 2 days you feel sickness, you feel tired, you get anger. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that is so
yeah.
true. And again, if you don't have any conditions, no high blood pressure or anything, eating pickles is not wrong, Swayam. Pickles are actually fermented foods. That's a good way too. If you want, like maybe dip your carrot in a pickle and eat. I know it sounds strange, but if that's what satisfies your cravings, do it
Yeah,
because you
yeah,
need that salt and
right, right.
spicy. Yeah, we
Yeah,
cannot
rather than
just focus
becoming
on that.
angry and irritated, showing that anger in our family with our family members. So little bit of that will
Yeah,
balance our emotions.
I know that is so true because I did this one time. Like I tried kind of followed one diet where it's said that there's no salt, no spice or anything. You just have to be on like fresh juices from either fruits or vegetables. I did that for a day or second day, and then I started to feel dizzy, more exhausted, fatigue. I was like irritated, and then I feel like no, my body does need some salt and other things too. So again, that's why these diets fail because the diets what everyone speak about, they are based on their own experiences or like majority, but there's no single diet which works for everyone.
True.
That's why diets fail. So you'll have to listen to your body, what it says. Your body is the best master who can tell you what you need.
Yeah.
So, but we will forget to give that attention to our body. Like I know how I learned it from you, Swayam, that there's so much around us. We forget to even appreciate that or look around and see what it is around. So same way that food is like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Siti. Thank you for sharing that. And any friends, anyone else wants to ask any questions, please go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah,
Gayatri
so
Garu.
usually in pregnancy, gestational diabetes happens, right? There is a test we take in fifth month or sixth month where they detect if you have gestational diabetes, and then from since then we need to change the diet, right? So,
Mhm.
what helps in earlier to avoid that getting into that gestational diabetes? Like,
Right.
how can
Okay. Good question. Yeah, yeah. It's a very important question. I don't know how I forgot, but yes, the glucose intake, what we take, and that's really important because once we start from pregnancy, we have to monitor the amount of sugars we take. Um, the recommended or amount of sugar what we do is only 25 to 30 grams. So imagine that is like 4 or 5 teaspoons of sugar. But in the foods what we consume, we instead of that we do up to 80 to 90 grams of sugar per day, not knowing there are so many foods we consume in different forms, and as soon as we know that we are pregnant we kind of tend to it's a celebration, so it's again joy celebration. So from the moment then we start with the sweet, and we keep eating sweet so much. I know again Indian diet mostly based on rice, even dal chapati they also have some sugars in it. um, if you can from day one, like actually not even for just the pregnant, for everyone will have to watch our sugar intake. Sugar is the number one cause for even body inflammation. We feel fatigue and everything happens because of sugar. So once from even before conceiving or when from the time you know that you kind of watch your sugar intake, you increase your protein, then there is a very slim chance that you get the gestational diabetes. And there is a one other hack how we should eat our sweets during pregnancy. So once you first eat your salads or raw veggies, if you have any in your plate, you first consume that. Then take your protein, like your protein, either maybe it could be dal or eggs or chicken or lentils or any edamame, whatever protein you have on your plate, you eat that protein and you put your glucose or sugary things to the end. If you push them to the end, that will reduce your chance of blood spike, and that will reduce your chance of getting this gestational diabetes. Because again, it's very important for us not to get into that stage during pregnancy, because um, there's been research done and they have tested that if you have gestational diabetes, there's a higher chance for your baby to have diabetes in the future. So that's why it's very important that you need to like reduce the amount. And usually what happens is that I think 12 weeks or I don't know at what time they do the sugar test, and then once we know that the gestational diabetes, that's when we completely restrict, go on like a more diet and then follow. But if we kind of assume that we're going to have it for any time and then we'll start restricting our sugar intake from the beginning, then this won't happen. So it's even if you get gestational diabetes or not, but still whatever the sugar intake you do, it passes on to your baby. There are many Indian babies born. First thing once they are born, they do is sugar test for babies. Like they do the testing for the baby because they think that baby has diabetes too. I mean, they'll eventually get it off, but initially they'll test all Indian babies for diabetes. Even when I had my babies, the first thing they would do is, oh, we have to get this baby tested for diabetes. Are you sure? Like, why do you have to? Because it's so much myth that Indian women or we consume more carbohydrates and we have these blood glucose levels high. That's like get passed on to the baby, and then there are high chances of baby having diabetes too. So again, sugar is those two white things, salt and sugar, everywhere. We can't avoid. Again, the system around us is built like that. We are prone to fail. That's how it is. But we'll have to escape from that, and we have to protect from ourselves with that sugar what we have. Again, watch, even there are some fruits like blueberries, strawberries, or those fruits like guava. If we are from India, and guava, kala jamun, those are the fruits with less sugar. But there are again some fruits with high sugar in it, like mangoes, bananas, and all. So even when you're taking your diet, you kind of look like, I'm eating fruit, but am I eating the fruit with lots of sugar in it? I mean, like if you have 2 or 3 pieces of mango is fine, but see if you can include more of guava and other fruits. So yeah, from the beginning, we'll have to watch our sugar levels, not just in pregnancy. For all the women, we have to watch our sugar levels because sugar is the number one reason for our inflammation. It never lets us gain our body weight, because if eating a lot of sugar, empty calories, you gain a lot of weight, and then we'll have to shed all that weight off. It's very hard to get. Once we put on the weight, it's very hard to get rid of. That's why even our kids grow up, but we're stuck with the weight what we gained. So yeah, it's sugar is definitely mandatory, and we'll have to watch that and see these cues too. Like again, not saying not to eat at all, because we have that cravings, but whenever you're having something sugar or sweet, first eat protein, then eat your sugar. First eat something salads, protein, and then eat your sugar. It won't spike your blood sugar so high easily. It
That's
steadily
a great
goes.
tip. That's a
Yeah,
good tip.
and that will help a lot. Yeah.
And one more question, like usually babies have jaundice after they are born, right? Is it
Mm-hmm.
also linked to nutrition what we take? Like how like after babies are born, sometimes within 10 days the newborn baby has a jaundice. So is it what mother do in the pregnancy that is the cause for the jaundice, or
Not really. I think jaundice is with the liver enzymes. So with the liver enzymes, they just released um, into the from the bloodstream. They get released into the placenta, and then the body takes in, or it enters the baby's tube. And when they have these elevated liver enzymes, that is what jaundice is. Again, usually jaundice is abnormal liver function. So again, liver has to metabolize properly. Then these excess liver enzymes are not spilled into the blood. But when the liver enzymes get spilled into the blood, that's when jaundice happens. And there is a chance, because this pregnancy itself is a vulnerable state. You're prone to so many things, because with the hormonal changes, with everything happen, there are chances that it happens, and that's how babies will be born with jaundice, but that's no harm. They will be it resets, the body resets, the baby coming into the new world resets, and usually it goes away. There's no treatment needed or nothing needed. And it's not harm or anything. But I also do see that if you're following a proper diet, if your levels are good, if you're having enough sleep, you have little this movement, little exercise and everything, I wouldn't think that will be even an issue. So yeah, when pregnancy, it's good to know a whole lot, but again, at the same time, let's not assume that anything of that's gonna happen to you. Same like
yeah.
how in meditation, how we manifest that it's there,
Mm.
but it's not gonna happen to you. So um, we're just gonna focus only on the good things what we do, and
Mhm.
then we're just gonna believe that it won't happen. And trust me, you do all everything which is right. And again, at the same time, don't go for perfection. We shouldn't try to do everything in a perfect way. Like if I said like, okay, I have to make sure that I have this much, no, perfection is not needed. Small little things is fine. And if there is something which you haven't done perfect, that's okay, let go. So that's what, again, with all this says, like, those negative thoughts or what you haven't done, or oh, maybe I should haven't done this, so just let go of that, and it should be good. But that's a good question. I haven't thought about jaundice, if mother does anything which affects. As far as I know, there's nothing mother does which affects for the baby. But I think we're in the group. I will for sure search on that and then give you anything if the mother can do to prevent that. I'll let you know about it.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
You actually, in my pregnancy, like my mom, she came for first delivery. My mom came from India and she wanted to do the baby shower, and she made lot of sweets, and she was forcing me to eat like it's okay. And then I was already diagnosed with gestational diabetes, but
Mhm.
I was telling her, "Oh, you can eat like it's okay. I made it for you," and like that she was not getting that seriousness of all these things, because she's not even aware that there is a thing called gestational diabetes.
I know.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, it is some things we do like even as a young mother, you don't know so many things, and then you get wrong advice from the parents, and it
That
is
is
so
so.
confusing. So that's why we need to have right knowledge, and thank you for giving all the
It is
information.
so true. And then, yeah, like I think our grandmothers, mothers, they do tell us that it's okay to eat. We ate, but see, things changed. It's a different set of scenario what we have now as compared to what they have. Maybe they ate those laddus and everything because they were not getting other sources of sugar at those times. Everything had to be made from scratch. Their bodies initially also didn't had enough sugar. Whatever they ate was from what they're getting. But now our body is exposed to sugar from all different ways. There's no way we can escape from that. So it's already built in. And now on top of it, you are taking it more, then that's a lot. And I do see that too when even like baby showers and all, when I go and they put all that and they say that the mom has to eat all that. No, mom doesn't eat all that. Can you please distribute that to everybody else? And then mom eat only whatever is left from that, a little bit of it, because um yeah, no, don't I mean, like, see if they can make it in a more healthy way. Like, um nut laddus are good, but can you substitute your sugar with dates? Dates is good. There are other, like, again, jaggery. I don't recommend a lot of eating jaggery too, because there is not much difference between sugar and jaggery. It's just that a little bit of molasses added back into the making sugar, and that's how the color comes. But jaggery is always again sugar. It's a lot of
Actually,
um,
in these rituals, we need to find out like a diet which helps mother. Like if you can change that to shift of that, that will be very helpful for mother, because in last trimester they don't have enough strength to cook, and they will not be active, right? If we can, friends and other family members can help with the diet, like
yeah, yeah. That is so
that.
true. Like, recently, I started, if I see a baby shower, if a mother, usually we take like all these laddu sweets and everything, right? I thought, like, we should just take some nuts for them, like 4 or 5 nuts. If you soak and dry them, that's more good. But
Mm,
give them that, or some dates, or
yeah,
dried
plain
figs.
nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, plain nuts, apricots. But again, make sure don't eat plain nuts. Always
Oh
soak.
yeah,
Always,
so
yeah, soak and eat, because that's important. So yeah, and then we should make nuts with completely with the dates only, or even if you make if you have to try to make a laddu, what I realize is with the dates, more dates is needed. So it's again a lot of sugar. But instead of that, you eat 2 dates and then take a small bite of each few almonds and take a small bite of date, and you chew it in your mouth. That's more
oh,
better.
okay.
Yep. And then you have to chew your food properly and eat too, because always chewing and eating is good, but more so in pregnancy, because anything what you eat, it doesn't have to stay for long in the stomach, because the more it stays, then your heartburns, your constipation, digestion issues all happen. So chew properly, take your time, like, that's how you'll have to do it. And take enough rest. Don't stress too much. Ask for support. Definitely ask for support if needed. Especially when it comes to third trimester, it gets really hard to cook anything or do anything. You have an idea what you want to eat, and then if your mother or whoever is there, tell them this is how you want it to get done. Like, not add a lot of oil, but maybe can they add it with 1 teaspoon of oil and make it, but at the same time make it tasty. But yeah, you'll have to teach them, because at their age maybe they'll think like, okay, adding this is fine, but no, you still have to, yeah, teach them or help them, or that's how you have to get yours done. And all the advices also, oh my God, I think pregnancy and advice, you'll have to listen to your body. Because a single small simple thing I'll tell, like, when I was pregnant and then I had my baby, um I didn't had enough milk, because I know I was overexhausted. I worked all through my pregnancy. Even you're so much stressed out, overworked, then it's hard for your body to recoup and then get back to normal. So when I was not getting enough milk, I used to go here, there, everywhere, ask, oh, what can I do? I mean, I'm not having, my baby is not having enough milk. And you're in again, you're at that time, your mood and everything is like that. So everybody used to tell me, like, eat garlic, put garlic in there and eat that way. Garlic is like, it's heat producing, so it eventually makes your body heat, and then you might get more milk. But what happened is, because I ate so much of garlic, the garlic even passed into the breast milk, because whatever we eat during pregnancy and also through breastfeeding, it gets to the baby. And then my baby used to have colic issues, and she
Oh,
would throw up, like, because for us we are able to keep up the garlic, but for a small little baby, when they get that much, colic issues and throw ups, and then oh my god, I had to do a lot with that too. So when somebody tells, it's not that they're telling wrong, they're telling what they know. But you'll have to like think, okay, am I overdoing it? Maybe should I do it in moderation? Is that much needed? Maybe I was mistakenly understanding that my body is not producing milk, but it's not producing because I didn't give it enough rest. You need rest, right? Like your body gets repaired only when you give rest, and sleep is the most important. You have to have that rest and sleep, like yeah, that 8 hours of sleep, especially with a newborn baby. You don't get it. So you'll have to give that baby to somebody else, because at that time as a mother, you want to watch the baby all the time. You don't want even to trust anyone. But no, your body needs rest, and then only it will do its thing, it will repair, and then you can take care of them. So you'll have to take the advice. Everyone gives advice for a good reason. They want the best out of it. But before implementing on you, you have to see, am I doing it correctly? Yeah.
Thank you, Gayatri Garu, for asking beautiful questions. It will definitely help all the other moms when they watch the video. Yeah, any other questions? Gayatri Garu, thank you, Sita, for responding. Beautiful
Thank you.
suggestions.
Thank you.
Friends, anyone else wants to ask anything? Please unmute yourself.
And it doesn't have to be pregnancy. We can have a normal discussion too. So anything what you
Yeah,
feel like,
yeah.
yeah, we
Yeah,
can just.
everybody needs nutritional food. So if you have any questions about menopause or anything, so how to take care of ourselves, Sita, when we are almost hitting the menopause, that state. So what kind of food we have to take? Any suggestions on that? Please let us know.
Yeah, that's a biggest issue again, or the phase in a woman's life. Like I know the childhood, and then comes the menstrual age, and then pregnancy is one of the biggest thing, and then trust me, menopause is another biggest thing, because all the hormones again started to change. This is another time where the estrogen levels are falling down. Like the estrogen kept protecting us from so many things for all this. Suddenly it stops, and um, yeah, menopause issues, like again you start to see these hot flashes. Suddenly you become so irritable, mood
Okay.
changes. Yeah,
Become
I
totally
know
ready.
there are so many memes, reels, everything about the mood changes and the menopausal symptoms, but that's real. Even I thought like, oh, is menopause real? Maybe I'll not face it. And no, nobody is except from that. So we all have to face it in one or the other way. But then how we take care of our body, we can cope up with the symptoms very nicely. Because um, again, that's the stage in the life where menopause is reminding us that you have run enough. Now take a break, look at yourself, and pause. I feel that's the time, like you'll have to stop and then now start caring yourself. You have to care for yourself from the beginning, but we all forget, because when kids are younger, you're running, you're constantly behind the things and everything. But then this is a time when your kids moving out to college, or you're getting time, because I sometimes feel like if you look at the life, it's so beautifully designed without unknowingly. I think when you had that energy, you had the kids and everything, and once you hit here, the kids, it's like not knowingly, but the kids are there to help you. They're not becoming so much burden for you. It means like now you need to start focusing on yourself. The biggest change again, um, foods is definitely makes a different change. Menopause again, you have to like how you take care of your body during pregnancy, that's how you should become now again, because it matters what you eat, what you drink, everything matters now. You'll have to make sure that you have a more balanced meals. Again, it's time that you have to have your calcium, you have to have your vitamin D. Again, not much iron is needed now because the menstrual cycle is going to come to an end. But again, if you're deficit in iron or exhausted, you need to have that supplementation too. But eating fresh, healthy. So and your body will start to tell you that you'll see the difference, like how you feel once you eat any processed food readily versus when you eat something fresh. When like when we go to a party or function or somewhere, and then there's so much of greasy food and everything, after you eat that, you'll see the difference of how you feel. And this is a time where you have to be like more careful in what you eat, because losing weight is very hard. In younger ages, you can gain and you can lose very easily. You just kind of follow some strict diet, something, do something, you lose all the extra pounds what you got. But once you are getting close to menopause, even losing 1 pound is a big thing. It gets so hard because your body is gonna like it will not let you do that. So anything what you are gaining extra, you have to be cautious. First thing is like not try to gain. And so yeah, the food, and I know we'll have to think about high estrogen foods also needed. Sometimes edamame, the enough protein, those helps with the hot flashes. There are some foods available, I know, sesame seeds, oils. Again, of all, I have to accept back, and stress management is important.
True.
How well you balance your stress will again, you'll cope up so easily. You don't want unnecessary. There's a lot of chatter around you, there's a lot of negative energy around you, there's a lot of chaos going around, there's a lot of social media. If you try to observe all that, already your body is going through that, and you observe all this negative, it gets more. So you have to develop that aura around you, like you have to have that shield around you. Nothing is going to bother you. You know what you are. I always say that your happiness should lie only in your hands, like not in somebody's actions. You're not going to be happy if somebody did this, if somebody didn't do that. No, whatever they do, let them do. That's not in your control. You cannot do anything with it. So all you can do is what you can do. So yeah, that's important. And then again, we all know, as we come close to menopause, we muscle wasting or muscle loss
Yeah.
is an important issue. So you'll have to make sure you do little strength training.
And
um,
also bones, right, Sita? Our bones gets weaker when we
Yes,
reach the
yes,
menopause state.
bones.
We have to
Yep,
take
bones
care of our
get
bones too. Yeah.
weaker, loss of calcium, vitamin D. So, muscle strengthening is important. I know, and especially again, like we all are the same Indian women, we never exercise a lot,
Other than
and
walking, we don't do anything. No strenuous
exactly.
exercise for us.
Other than walking, we don't do anything. We don't do any weightlifting exercises or strengthening exercises. We don't do any of those, but we have to include those now. Like it's good if we did it from the
Yeah.
beginning, but since we didn't
Yeah.
do it, but
Yeah.
body is one good thing about
Better
body, I
now
suppose.
than ever.
Right, body is
Better to
very
start now
forgiving.
than ever. Yes.
So yeah, I cannot stress enough on yoga, strengthening. Small thing, you don't have to do a whole big, but just see what small things, even little calf movements. You sit and then raise and lift the calves, or whatever smallest thing we can do, it makes a huge difference.
True, true, true. So we spend a
So
lot of time in the kitchen. We are so used to cooking several meals in a day. All of our time go there. So one
yes,
of my friend gave this beautiful suggestion: when you're in the kitchen, when you're cooking itself, just move your body. When something is
yeah,
getting boiled there, use that time. You don't have to.
yeah,
If you don't have separate time to do your yoga, that is
mhm,
better. But even that
mhm,
time, when we are spending so much time in the kitchen, there itself we can walk, we can move our body.
yeah.
That's really helping me. It's a small tip from my side.
That
Thank
is
you so
that
much,
is
Sita, for wonderful wisdom, wonderful knowledge coming to our platform and sharing your knowledge and answering all the questions. I really enjoyed the the whole session today. This session is very special for me because you are my friend. I was looking forward. Another friend, Lavanya, is asking me how you are bringing all these holistic friends to our platform. Where are you getting them? I'm like, the mother is sending. It's not my plan. I just prepared the flyer and I just remembered you out of the flash. Okay, I have to call Sita for one of the session and it went so beautifully. Thank you so much again for sharing your wisdom.
Thank you so much, Swayam,
Friends,
again.
friends, anyone, one more call? Anyone else has any questions? Please unmute yourself. Otherwise, see you all next week with another master. Next week, we have a session with a psychologist, which how we are going to learn how to take care of our emotional body. So in this session, we took care of our physical body, giving nutritional food to our body, which also includes emotional, but how to take care of our emotional body, how to take care of our, to calm our mind. We learn all that in our next session with another great speaker. Thank you all for joining today. See you all next Sunday. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Sita, again.
Thank
This
you
was a
so much,
wonderful
Swayam.
session.
And then I know it's a beautiful opportunity for me, and I thank you everyone for staying with me and listening to me. And again, it's nutrition is a vast topic, but if you have something you come across and you want to ask, I'm there in the group. Please don't hesitate to ask me. I don't say that I have all the knowledge needed. It's a learning for me for every day, but I'll try my best to answer or find that for you guys and help you. So don't hesitate to ask me. And again, thank you so much. And all the
Thank you
best
so
for
much,
all the
Sita. Yes,
moms.
Sita is in the group, the Moms to Be group. So if you have any questions, we have other doctors too. So if you have any questions about nutrition or how to take care of yourself, please post it there. They'll respond. And we also providing night meditations, which helps you to calm your mind and release the stress. So every day we conduct meditations 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. EST. So please do join and utilize the opportunity. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sita.
Thank you.
Thank you, friends. See you all next week.